Hey there, welcome back. Today I have an interesting, and in fact, this is the first time I've actually had one of these style rockets. This is the Sparkling Rocket Fighter Ship by Marx and Linmar. One of the things that I learned when I picked up this rocket was that there are actually a lot of variations of this rocket. In fact, the pressing dates back to the 1927 Buck Rogers rocket. So this particular style has was used actually for more than a quarter of a century. So it was repurposed with other themes to it. Now, what's interesting about this is the seller had described this as the Flash Gordon rocket. And this would be, of course, a later model Flash Gordon rocket. When I received it, I looked at it and noticed, you know what, there isn't any Flash Gordon printing either on the rocket or the box. And I do remember this as a Flash Gordon rocket. So that's when in the research I realized this exact rocket from the early 50s was also made in a lot of very subtle variations. And I'm going to show you that separately. This particular example is stamped, you can see here, Marx. And if you look underneath, it's very clean. It's one of the reasons I picked it up. The fin is the original and it's black. Over here you have the window gels that would show you the sparking effect. There's the grinding wheel, but the flint is expired, it's worn out, and it wouldn't be worth opening up the rocket just to insert a flint in there. The box, at one time, I wasn't really crazy about either like a monochrome or just a two-tone box like this, or two-color, I should say. Well, technically with the paper it's three, right? Tan, red, black. But I've grown fond of these, and it's very cool. See the Saturn, some of the stars, the sparks. That's still a very cool illustration. There's something about the just two-tone is actually very appealing to me. There's Louis Marx. And I don't have them all, as the box is asking me. So now this is a wind-up. Obviously this space is limited, so I'll wind it up a little bit. By the way, that flap came off that you see over to the right, but it's the original flap. This, by the way, this tin seems to be much heavier than later tin. The rocket itself is heavy, and even this on-off switch here, stop-go as they call it, is here, let me put my finger on it right there. This is actually much more sturdy, and you move it with a much more solid feel. So I only did a couple of winds. Let's see if this thing goes anywhere. I have it on stop, so let's get it on go here. You know what, I'm gonna wind it a little more. Let's back this up. One of the reasons I don't like to do it is because I don't have a lot of room, but so you can see it operating there. It actually runs for quite a long time. A little aggressive on that push. Runs for a long time, and it has this cool little sound. You can see the flapper there going. Okay, that's enough of that. So that's your sparkling rocket. Now, I'm gonna copy a page from the Robot Hut, and if you guys haven't seen the Robot Hut, I encourage you to see it. This is what I was telling you as far as different variations of this rocket. So here, for instance, you see the fin. See if I can get a better view of it. Well, let's see. That fin, just zoom in on it instead. That fin is lithograph Flash Gordon 5. And then you look at this fin, it's just 5 without anything. So that's one variation. And you can see here also the box. Right there, it says Flash Gordon up top, where this one doesn't have the Flash Gordon lettering. It's a little close, but it would be there. So it doesn't have the Flash Gordon lettering. And I would imagine people probably want the Flash Gordon version. I would think that's a little more desirable. Now here's an example with, let me get up, where the rocket has a white fin and there's no lithograph on the yellow. So again, where this one has 5 with the stripes, but no Buck Rogers lettering, here's one that's completely plain. So that's another variation. So with this rocket alone, now we're talking about 3 variations of this particular rocket. And then if you add into account the different fin colors in the back, you got, like, for instance, white, you have yellow, like, let me pan out here. Here's a yellow fin up there. You have black. So there's a lot of mixing and matching going on here. Let me see if I could find any other variations here. I think that's really the main ones. The main ones. And then if I had a top-down view like this here, you could see where up top, where this rocket has the black stripe with the Marx logo. That one there has the Flash Gordon lettering also running across the top like that. So I'm just giving you an idea of the different configurations that they did in this, because you know, if you're looking for this style rocket, by the way, you may want to make sure you get, at the end of the day, the one that you really want. So, and by the way, this pressing, I think this is the only one that had these like side fins, almost like the canards that they used in muscle card. You see these, which kind of ironically was used actually, like I said, in the muscle cars as a wind, either to help with deflection or downforce. So it's kind of actually a practical design element. And that's really it. I didn't want to go too long, but seeing that some people may use these videos as some kind of reference, I thought, once I saw that there's so many different kinds, it'd be good for you to understand all the different types of these rocket fighters that you can get. And of course, this is just the early 50s. Keep in mind that you can go all the way back to the 20s with this particular style. So anyway, thanks for listening. Sorry for the lengthy video, and don't forget, I appreciate if you could subscribe, leave a like and a comment. And with that, I'll talk to you later.